So my name's Ron Wardley. I'm from here in Utah. I grew up here, born and raised.
I am Mackenzie Wardley. I am Ronnie's wife.
My name is Maggie Cambora. I met Jared in 2004. He was a Marine on the coast of North Carolina.
My two boys, Chalice and Jack, that are my world. I just chase them around. That's kind of what I do.
Ronnie's the kind of guy that everybody likes. I think maybe I'm biased. He's so easygoing. He's easy to be around. He's a go-getter. He never says no to anything. He just makes it work all the time.
He was working a full-time job and going to college at the same time for his bachelor degree. And I had a career in hairdressing. So I worked full-time as a hairdresser. He worked full-time job and full-time college. And we wanted to live our life, and we lived our life for 9 years before we got married and had kids.
The reason I joined the registry with DKMS was family friend growing up. A couple houses down from me was the Barnes family and Sean Barnes. He's someone that was really close to me that died from AML or leukemia, that he kind of went through the whole process and kind of had a more tragic end. Having that kind of personal connection with him and my family and his family, for me it was no question. You know, when I had the opportunity to register to be a donor, it was an absolutely for me, you know.
They diagnosed it as leukocytoclastic vasculitis, LCV. So they gave me a bunch of steroids, steroid cream, and they're like, you know, take this. And it went away, but once I stopped with steroids, it came back. So I went back, they still had no idea what it was. And they did a bunch of blood tests, nothing, and progressing through summer of 2020, it just wouldn't go away. It got worse and worse and worse.
I remember she was like, Jared, she came downstairs like 8 o'clock in the morning, and she's like, Jared, I'm going to the ER right now. And she told me what she was told by the doctors, being diagnosed with leukemia, that she's going right downtown in an ambulance. Because I was like, okay, do I come pick you up? Go back Monday for an appointment?
Am I gonna get a follow-up?
The doctor was like, no. She's like, she's going right now. She's like, this is serious. Saying that they couldn't have a better patient. You know, that will to live and that will to fight is strong with her. You know, it's strong in everyone, but it takes something like that to really pull it out of you. You go through the hopeless points. You know, I mean, it's hard, you hate to admit it, but it's truth. It's only, you know, human nature.
You just have to,
you know,
have faith.
Yeah, I mean, she was the rock. You know, she calls me the rock, but really she was the one that was, you know, always positive, would never stop fighting. I mean, even her nurses and doctors always kind of commended her on it.
So DKMS reached out to me. This was 3.5 years after I registered to be a donor. So you kind of forget about it. I was super excited that maybe I had the potential of being matched with someone. They were asking me, if you're still interested, reach out to us, call us or email us back, and we can kind of go down the process. So I immediately picked up the phone and called DKMS. The coordinators that I was working with were super helpful, and they just said, hey, you're a potential match for this person. They couldn't really tell me anything about Maggie or who she was or what she was going through. They just said, if you're still willing, if you still want to be a donor, like, we need to send out another swab kit and confirm that you are a match. I was able to reconfirm that I was a match. I sent it back to them, and they called me and they said, you are a match, and not only that, you're a great match. They said, let's move forward with the process. I had to do a physical, and someone had to come to my house and give me some shots to kind of pull the blood cells out of my bone marrow and then kind of into my bloodstream so that when I do the donation, it was easier and they can get it more readily. So I did that for a couple days, and then I flew out to Seattle for a donation.
For us at home, it was just like, oh my gosh, go. Like, there was not really a discussion. I remember his sister asked me, how do you feel about this? And I'm like, I'm emotional and I'm ready. Like, send him, do what we can do for her. So it wasn't really a discussion. It was just like, clear the schedules kind of a thing.
You never know who's gonna reach out to you, you know, and you never know, you know, like when I heard the news that I had a perfect donor, it was literally a whirlwind of like 4 days. It was just like 4 days of, we found you a donor. We're gonna extract it. It's gonna fly in fresh and you're gonna get it. You know, it's one of those, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the guy that's gonna save my life.
So working with DKMS was super easy. They kind of coordinated everything. Because of the timely manner of the donation that was needed for Maggie, they decided that it was going to be best to fly me out to Seattle. That was the location that could get me in the quickest for a donation.
He was on the ball and he was just so eager to go.
The donation process with DKMS and being able to do it through, they call it the peripheral bloodstream. Super simple process. They say that statistically wise, they can pull it out of your peripheral bloodstream and get the stem cells that they need to help the people, yeah.
He sat in a chair, I think something like 6 to 8 hours, something like that. And he was just hooked up both arms, you know, drew blood from one side, spun it through something, put it back in, kind of a thing. So he just really had to give his time. He said it wasn't painful. He said they had told him he might be tired after, but he said, I went to dinner that night and I felt great and wasn't a big deal. It was pretty easy going. It was just a matter of getting to the donation center.
I had no idea about this. I mean, of course, you know, you heard about stem cells back, you know, early 2000s, and there was always kind of controversy around it. There's obviously more than one type of stem cell technology and therapy that they use. And this particular therapy is, it's not intrusive. You know, there shouldn't be any kind of debate, you know, about it. It's literally no different than giving a blood donation.
It's painless.
Essentially.
It's just, it's the easiest thing you could do to save a person's life.
I think mostly the feeling of getting to meet Maggie today is just excitement. Like, I'm excited that she got to come out here. She's always been excited. We've messaged a little bit through social media, and she's been really excited to kind of see the mountains and see what Utah's all about. So I'm glad that she gets to come out here. Super ecstatic to get to meet her and kind of put a face to the name of somebody that I've helped. Spend some time with her and her family and kind of really get to know her. It's during the whole process, it's kind of blind, like you don't know anything about them or who they are or what. So it's kind of, I'm super excited that she got to come out here. DKMS is bringing her out and that we get to meet her and just spend time with her.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out.
Here we go. Come on, Mom. Woo! Hi! Oh my God! Oh, I've got butterflies. This is insane. Oh my God, your family. Oh my God, hi boys. Hello.
This is Jack.
Hi Jack. Hi Chalice. Oh, Mackenzie. Oh, thank you so much. We're so happy to see you. Oh my God, you too. You're so beautiful. Oh my God. Hi, buddy. Hello. You're so handsome. Hello. These are my kids. This is Damien. Hi. And this is Marlo. And this is my husband, Jared.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Oh my God. Hi.
For everything.
How awesome.
Oh my goodness. This is so surreal. This is insane to finally be here and to finally see you guys like in person. It's just so surreal. It's so surreal.
We're glad you could come.
It is.
It doesn't feel real.
It doesn't feel real. It's been so long. Like, I waited for the day, like, to have, for that 1 year mark, to finally reach out. And then I was like, oh God, I hope, whoever it is, I hope he wants to talk to me. I hope he wants to be communicable. And
Yeah.
thank God, the most selfless person I've ever met besides my husband. It's insane.
We're like, what if they don't want to meet us?
I know.
Like, we want to know how they're doing.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here.
I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. Then go back in the closet after the storm. No, I'm not a match simply waiting to burn. All I am is a friend, your friend till the end.
It's a selfless act, and you could literally change the course of someone's life or multiple people's lives for
Multiple people.
our whole family. You know, if it wasn't for Ron at DKMS, I don't know what kind of life I would have, my kids would have. At least now we have a normal life. They have their mom.
I wouldn't
they
be
have
here.
a life. You know, it wouldn't
He was-
fracture the family essentially.
Ron was literally my last chance. DKMS was my saving grace. They were the ones who found the person who saved my life. And I would not be here if it weren't for DKMS, if it weren't for Ron.